class, and we're live because we are. Hi, everybody. This is episode 190.
Whoa, 190.
I had to think about that for a second. Pretty sure it is. If not, well, it'll be next week. So, hey, we are the Crafty Boys. We drink beer and talk about the beer and other stuff. We're very exciting people. I'm Shane, and who are the other boys? I don't know. Maybe we should ask. Hey, who are you guys?
I'm Alan. I am located in Victoria, British Columbia, and I am here to satisfy all of your beer drinking needs.
Oh, okay then.
Over to Dave.
That was incredibly suggestive.
I didn't mean for it to be. I'm sorry.
And I would be Dave, hiding out in the Comox Valley, not satisfying anything.
Okay.
Right.
Don't sell us on your prowess there, Dave. So this week, the beer that stumbled into our laps as we wandered far and wide to locate it is the beer called the Weekend Warrior Double IPA. It is a beer from Old Yale Brewing, and it is a single batch. They make it only once, and then it's gone, unless everyone storms their front doors and beats them with hammers and says, make more of that, or we're going to drink Budweiser. Ew, God. So there you go.
And I believe it's being sold exclusively at BC liquor store locations. In other words, you cannot find it at private liquor stores.
Yeah, so then you should go there, as he said.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't actually know that. That's actually very cool because you haven't seen it anywhere else.
Well, I went on the Old Yale website, and they said where you can get this, and it says BC liquor stores. It doesn't say anywhere else, so I'm assuming it's an exclusive to the BC liquor stores. This is part of their Trailblazer series, so I don't exactly know what that means precisely. But it says here on the bottle, when you're blazing new trails, we believe the journey is as important as the destination. At Old Yale Brewing, we've used lessons from our 20 years of persistence, struggles, patience, and triumphs to create our Trailblazer series. Bold new flavors and ingredients combined to craft truly one-of-a-kind beers for your drinking pleasure. Now, I want to point out that this beer, it doesn't say it on the label, I don't think, but according to their website, the IBU rating on this puppy is a shockingly high 85.
Shockingly high.
Well, I don't know if it's shockingly high. I can't recall. I've seen too many more that are higher than 85.
Oh, well, all right then.
So,
Dave,
I'd call that shocking.
Are you excited? I can tell. I'm just looking at you in the screen there.
I just want to see. I just want to
man.
see how Dave is going to react to this. All right,
well, I'm curious too.
I'm doing my pour, and the color of this beer. Ooh, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
The smell.
Oh my God!
Good.
Look at the head I just poured.
Okay,
like
I'm going to hold up. I'm going to hold up the bottle to the microphone. Can you guys smell it?
Hold the bottle up to the microphone.
Yes. Oh, we don't have smell-o-vision yet. Okay.
The smell-o-vision is not a thing. Not yet, anyway.
It's not a thing.
No,
it could be.
Sorry, man.
I think we should make
smells good.
Oh my!
Oh, look at that color! Oh,
I know. Check that out. It's like a golden something.
Mine's very cloudy.
No one asked you, Dave.
Mine's cloudy too.
It's
Oh. Oh, I am. Oh.
It's no fat tug, but I don't think that matters.
No. And I wouldn't expect it to be, because this is a double IPA, which is a little bit different from a single IPA, which is what a fat tug is. Now, this one does come in at a hefty 8% alcohol by volume. So it's a party in a bottle. And that's about it. That's all I've got on this one.
I gotta say, I'm
digging it.
I'm digging this. Okay. I want them to make more. I do not want them to stop at this. I mean, that would be that's a crime. Dear Old Yale Brewing, if you don't make more of this, I will cry like a small child because you will have committed a crime in front of me, and I'll have to report you to the beer police. You don't want the beer police to be involved. You know why? Because they're really mean, and they will come to your place of business and they will force you to brew beer. But the beer that I want, not the beer that you like to make, just for me.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
What?
Wow. I don't know how.
All right. So I got to know from Dave. Dave, what do you think? The guy that doesn't like IPAs.
Are you saying you're surprised?
I'm saying I'm surprised.
In a good way?
In a good way.
Cool.
I wonder if part of it has to do with the fact that I cooled it so much. This thing has been in the freezer for about the last 3 or 4 hours. So it is cold. And it's good that way. Well, yeah, awesome. I'm assuming it's better that way. I usually like this kind of thing to be pretty chilled. And this is the first time I've thrown a beer in the freezer for so long. And I think it might take the edge off some of the harsher after whatevers from
the after whatevers.
Yes, from the flavor.
It's a scientific term.
It is.
Absolutely the after whatevers, the after whatever's in beer or something you really need to really get a handle of. Yeah, those. If you don't have a handle on those, you're screwed. If you don't, I mean, you just gotta get in there. You gotta dive into the tank. You gotta beat those after whatevers to death before they get out to the public.
Yep.
Deadly,
so Dave,
game.
And the who's it's gonna be a real bitch too. Just to throw that in there.
Dave, are you saying that you like this?
That might be going a little far. I know what you're dying to do.
Yeah, nice.
I'm waiting to use that.
7 years of waiting to use that one sound effect, and he finally was able to do it. I remember the first time. Whatever.
So I think this is the third time that we have featured Old Yale on the program. And every single time we have really enjoyed the beer. The first time was the Sasquatch Stout. The second time was Banshee something. I can't remember what specific kind of beer it was. And now this one, and every single one of them has been a winner. So good things are coming out of Old Yale Brewing in Chilliwack.
I gotta say, I'm enjoying it.
This is a really good beer. It's good enough to be part of their regular run, part of their regular lineup.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm impressed.
And like Shane said, it is a single batch limited release. So if you're gonna try it, go out and get it now.
Yeah, don't wait on this, because this is the thing, is that when you wait, you lose out and we cry. So
it wasn't that expensive either. It was only $6.49 or something for the bottle at BC Liquor. So
yeah,
it wasn't expensive at all.
I give it a thumbs up.
Same here.
So Big news today. Something that we all really should give praise for, aside from the beer. We give praise to the Star Trek gods, as today the first teaser trailer for Star Trek Picard dropped.
Oh,
What do you guys think? I'm assuming you knew this was coming. Maybe not.
yeah.
Yes.
I watched it.
And
I don't know if you could really consider it to be a teaser. I mean, it didn't tease anything. It had like some random woman's voice talking to Picard, but Picard wasn't responding, and you just see a picture of Picard. I mean, it gave no clue about anything.
By that very definition, it still would be a tease, would it not?
I suppose. I mean, you see older Picard, I assume it's Picard, on his vineyard tending to the vines, which is kind of what I thought it would be. At least he doesn't have his... That's it. Why did you leave Starfleet?
Well, I think that it is. Oh, geez. I think it is. It's just to remind us that it's coming. The one thing I did learn though that it's on CBS All Access,
which won't be available to us, will it?
No, but it will be available on, what's that thing called? Space Channel.
Oh, okay.
So it will be available in Canada on Space Channel.
All right. That's okay. I can deal with that.
But I do want to complain about one minor detail.
Okay.
Is when I was looking at the little piece of amazement in the trailer. I really think that we need to know where my train of thought went. Because I got on at the station. It was very clear on what the destination was. Right. I started speaking. I glanced at Dave's face. Next thing I know, I'm in Albuquerque and I don't know why. So you watched it here live on the internet. A grown man have a stroke mid-sentence without much else to show for it. So
okay, so they made mention in the teaser that there was some sort of a major rescue operation 15 years ago. Is that what your train of thought was on?
Yes, there we go. I want to know what that's about. Granted, because I was trying to fit it into the fact of the last time that we saw Picard, it was 2003 with what was the film called? With his doppelganger, Tom Hardy / Bane. So that's more than 15 years ago. So there must be something brand new that we're going to learn, which I'm kind of happy about. And I think it is going to, I don't know. I think it's going to be, since it's going to be released on CBS All Access, I'm very pleased that it will have the same level of maybe F-bombs. I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to do things they can't normally do on broadcast TV, which I kind of like. But overall, thumbs up. I'm excited. But what overshadowed in my mind the dropping of trailers today was the release of the film trailer for the film Terminator Dark Fate.
This is the one I'm waiting for.
Yeah, this is actually, I think I'm a little more excited about because it's only just going to be a film. It's not a TV series. But it's going to be a direct sequel to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And every other Terminator film that exists, I gather, will be ignored. And in this particular situation, those films don't exist. So, which on most cases is actually thankful. There were parts in some of those films that I enjoyed, but overall, in the grand scheme of the peanut gallery comes in requesting beer. Here, take the bottle. Yeah, thank you. but the I don't know. I'm excited. I want to know more about who these people are in the film, other than just some hyped up additional Terminator-like characters. But the female lead, or sorry, the female co-star, who I guess is the one they're trying to terminate her. I guess. Yeah. I don't know, Dave. What do you think? What do you? Alan's excited. I'm excited. What about you, sir?
I like the sound of it because the Terminators, well, T2, I guess, especially some of my favorite movies for sure.
Right.
I thought they were pretty amazing when they came out because, hey, we were at the right age for that stuff to be amazing. I'm curious, is Cameron involved?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
But he's not
Cameron-
directing. He's
No,
Is he
he's producing
producer?
it. He's busy doing the 9 sequels to Avatar at the moment. But yeah, he's producing it. But it's being directed by Tim something. The guy that directed the film Deadpool. Tim. We'll call him Tim. He's directing it. It's being produced by Cameron, which of course means that he's quite heavily involved. So I don't know. I'm liking it. I think it's a great thing. I think that it's definitely going to be something worth our time. So
I'm gonna have to watch the trailer because this honestly is the first time I've heard of it. So I've not seen the
Really?
trailer yet.
on this little show of ours,
Right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Really,
You heard it here,
Dave.
first, or
It sounds like you got a
second.
girlfriend, man.
I'm really excited for this one to see Linda Hamilton back.
Yeah, I read a thing in Vanity Fair today about her involvement, and apparently, from what I understand, he said, "Hey, look, it's going to be the only way to do this film is to have you in it, being essentially badass. Yes, you're a lot older. There's tons of films that have a lot of older actors who are still playing action roles, but ultimately, the film, we won't do the film if you aren't game for it." So apparently she said, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And I think, and of course, we see a different or a small clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger's. I'm assuming he is another T800, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do something weird. Like
From
he's
what
like
I've heard, no, he's not.
No, he's
That the
because
Arnold.
one of the. Well,
that the
I'm wondering
Arnold-
if he's like the genetic thing they cloned, like the
Yes,
yeah.
that's what he is. He's playing the human that was cloned to create the T800
Oh, cool.
body.
Cool.
Okay, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
The more I'm hearing, the more I'm liking.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, we have all of these franchises that are making a lot of money. They've been around for a long time. Just the other day, I saw a chart that basically lists out all of the different the different franchises and how much money they've made over the last 10 years since I think 2009, which was actually very cool because you really do see on this graph that they generated that Marvel is really just laying waste to everyone else.
Well, they produced like 30 million movies. I mean,
yeah, well, and their profit margins are way up here, and you see DC way down at the bottom, and then pretty much everyone else in between, like the Harry Potters, all those sorts of things.
I would argue it's not necessarily, though, any indication of quality of what you're watching.
No.
Like, as an example, I'm curious what you guys think because you've probably watched this. Another thing I saw on the weekend was the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh.
No plans. I wasn't looking forward to watching this thing. In fact, it wasn't even on my radar, really. I thought I'd seen the trailers and, I knew it had come out.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was about where it ended. But on the weekend, we ended up watching it. And I actually really enjoyed it.
I've heard good things about it. I haven't seen it myself, but
Okay.
yeah, I heard great things about that movie.
Well, the Wonder Woman film is good, but the how shall I say, the other ones, I only watched one of them because they looked like they were terrible, and I was apparently right that they were terrible. So I'm talking about Superman versus Batman. Superman dies, or I don't know, what does he do? Maybe he becomes a drag queen. I don't know. Essentially, it doesn't really matter because Superman was really kind of. I don't know why DC can't do what Marvel does. They have the very similar properties. They have all of these things that they could do, but they seem to be locked in that Tim Burton, post Tim Burton, but pre, or sorry, not Tim Burton, post Tim Burton. What's the film I'm talking about? Is it Verhoeven? Who did? No, not Nolan. Post Tim Burton, pre Nolan. Schumacher. Thank you, Schumacher. Joel Schumacher, who had a very clear vision of what he wanted his Batman films to be, or Batman film. But that's not what the audience ever wanted. They loved Batman in 1989 being the way that Batman was. They did not want this campy garbage that it became, which, Batman Forever started it on that trajectory, and then Schumacher just decided to kill the entire franchise, which I've seen him in interviews, him saying, I was not intending to make a terrible film. I did anyway, but I wasn't meaning to do that. It wasn't on purpose. But it's that weird aesthetic that DC's latched onto to try and pull themselves a little bit away from the Schumacher kind of feel, but not quite latching on to the Marvel stuff, which basically Marvel is what they did is it's like, well, we're going to actually say that these characters are in the real world, that they are, it's a reality based kind of thing, which is why the Nolan Batmans did so well, is because it's like, well, let's take this, mythical character and make it so that he, you might be walking down the street of Gotham one night, going out for ice cream, and he might run past you, chasing something, who knows what. But they have that element of reality. I mean, granted, it's a heightened reality, but still, it's grounded in that reality. Where, like, if you've seen Avengers Endgame, Dave, you've seen it, right?
Yep.
Alan, you've seen it or don't care?
No, I don't care.
Okay. Where we have Thor in the first few films of his trilogy there, of him being like, I'm mighty Thor, blah, 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 blah. But as time goes on, I mean, he comes to Earth and it's like, dude, what's wrong with you? You're crazy. And he's like, right. Well, yeah, I guess I came from a certain place, and Asgard, and this is one of the realms of, your universe. And I guess I should probably, not be such a douche. And you see that sort of evolution of his character kind of becoming less douchey. But essentially, yeah, we've got this ability for these characters to be grounded in a certain way that we can actually relate to them, where the everybody chill, that's not relatable at all. That totally doesn't work. As much as we want to see a comic book film, we like seeing comic books on the page. I don't think the audience nowadays, or even hell, when those films came out, 12 years ago or so, didn't want to see it then either. So,
and honestly, I mean, if you're going to look to something that's like a comic book film that worked, to me, it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Those ones worked. Those were comic book movies that really worked, especially the first.
I mean, essentially, those are those are the predecessor to what Marvel eventually did,
Yeah.
because we had Spider-Man 2000. Was that when it came out? I think Spider-Man 2 came out, I think 2002, 2003. And that for me was where the bar was set.
Mhm.
These are comic book films, but the story is incredibly solid. And then suddenly Spider-Man 3 came along, and it's like they pulled their pants down and took a dump on the sidewalk, because it's like, hey, we figured it out. And then it's like, we didn't. And then the Amazing Spider-Man films I will never see, because I just don't want to punish myself that badly. I'd rather have a colonoscopy. They fell prey to the Spider-Man 3 problem, where you had individuals that were in there going, okay, it's a comic book film, man. We're just gonna make toys. Well, yeah, make toys, but don't shit on your audience with a really terrible story and have the biggest issue out of all of those films, more than one villain.
Yes.
The villains in the comic books are big enough. If you don't think they are, just make them bigger, because there will definitely be a story somewhere that it will make them really big.
Mhm.
So, I mean, why they seem to go back to that well, I'll never understand. I don't quite get it, but I'm not a movie executive, so there you go. But hey, if you guys want some advice about how to make comic book films that actually people want to see, that are not just comic book fans, go watch the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan. Go watch pretty much every single. Start with Spider-Man 2. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. But go and watch the Marvel films from you. You start to see once they hit Iron Man and they kind of went a little bit forward of that, they realized that this grounding in reality is what what the audiences, I think, right now are comfortable with. They want that sort of heightened experience, but they don't want to necessarily be. They don't want to be in. They don't want to be dancing with Oompa Loompas in a chocolate factory. That's not what we want right now. We want.
Says you.
Only Tim Burton can do that right now. Yeah. Tim Burton and maybe Wes Anderson.
He did do it.
Well, no, I know, but that sort of crazy heightened reality. Right? So I don't know. It's very, very strange that they seem to completely miss the mark over and over again. Especially this. I mean, I watched, I think, the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of Superman versus Spider-Man. Superman versus Spider-Man. Superman versus Batman, and I'm like, okay, I'm turning this off because I can already see where it's going. It's going to be garbage, and there you go. So, but there you go, boys. I just want to cry now.
No, don't cry. We got good beer.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Smash my toe. But overall, the beer, I gotta say, I give it up to Old Yale Brewing. We've had them before. They've never disappointed. No. So go out and find it if you can at the BC liquor stores, where apparently, as Alan has said, that's pretty much the only place you can get it right now. I'm sorry if you can't find it, but you're missing out. Anything else, boys? Have you had any other wonderful thoughts here?
No, just beer is good.
No.
Drink it.
Beer is good. Drink it.
Help support the local breweries. Have your beer drunk and
have your beer spayed and neutered.
That's what I was going
beer population. I watched a documentary the other day about that whole thing.
I did too.
Have you seen it? Popped up on Netflix?
Yeah.
It was quite good. I'm like, yeah, I sort of saw around that was what it was about, but now I'm quite happy that it's totally more than that.
About spaying and neutering your beers. This I gotta see.
Sure. No, the documentary about The Price is Right. Never mind. Go watch it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Go watch it.
So I think that's all the time we have for this week. But of course, if you are out there and you want to see more of this wonderful content that you're watching, the live streamed brilliance of the Crafty Boys, where you
If
are
anybody's
able to...
watching, wake up. Wake up. We're trying to tell you something.
It's okay. Go back to
Hello. Hello.
Is this on? So, yeah, I definitely think that you should go out, support your local craft breweries, and make sure that while you're doing that, you're watching the Crafty Boys because we're brilliant. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Right on.